Okay, so our meeting is now being recorded. Again, good day everyone. It's nice to see you again today, Kim and Jaja. Let me just pin my presentation for a while. Okay, there you go. So for today, we will be studying again another topic. But first, I'd like to remind everybody of our simple classroom rules. So again, remember, if you want to speak or if you have to say something, remember to use the raise hand button. Also, turn on your microphone only when you're called by the teacher and use the Google Meet chat box only for discussion-related questions or responses. Is that clear, girls?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay. So before we start with our discussion, let me first ask you guys of the things that we had yesterday. Can you still remember what did we discuss yesterday, Kimberly?
Um, Phrasal verbs, ma'am.
Correct. Yesterday we talked about phrasal verbs, right? And do you still remember what phrasal verbs are, Jaja? Yesterday we defined what a phrasal verb or a multi-word verb is. Ja?
Um, Hello, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
As I can remember, phrasal verbs or multi-word verbs are a
Mhm.
combination of verbs with a preposition.
Okay, that's correct. So multi-word verbs, just like what Jaja said, is a combination of a verb and a particle or a preposition, right? So these are verbs that contain more than one verb, just like what Jaja said earlier. So there you go. It is a combination of a main verb plus a particle. The particle can be a preposition, an adverb, or a simple particle. Also, yesterday, we talked about different kinds of multi-word verbs. Here are the examples that we had yesterday. Do you still remember, girls? Now, I would like to ask you if you can still remember the meaning of these multi-word verbs. The first multi-word verb is find out. Kim, can you still remember the meaning of find out based on our discussion yesterday?
Yes, ma'am. The meaning
Okay.
of find out is discover.
Discover. Let's see if the meaning of find out is discover. All right, you're correct. What about keep up? Yes, Jaja.
I believe, ma'am, it's continue.
All right, continue. That's correct too. Yesterday, right, we gave the example keep up the good work. By keep up, we mean to continue the good work. That's correct. What about go over? Who would like to try? Yes, Kim?
The meaning of go over is review.
Review. Let's see if that's correct. Okay, that's correct. Just like what we're doing now, we're reviewing or we go over the topic that we had yesterday. What about for this set of examples? The first one is let down. Do you still remember the meaning of let down? Yes, Jaja.
Ma'am, the meaning of let down is disappoint.
Disappoint. Let's see if that is the correct answer. Okay, you got it right. Let down means disappoint. It does not necessarily mean to let something down, all right? What about look forward to? Yes, Kim.
Um, it is ano po, anticipate.
All right, to anticipate. Let's see if the meaning of look forward to is to anticipate. That's correct. And lastly, we have get rid of. Yes, Jaja.
I know this. I heard this from movies. Get
Okay.
rid of means dispose of.
Dispose of. Let's see if that's correct. Okay, that's also correct. The meaning of get rid of is to dispose of. All right, you did a good job, girls. And it seems like you still remember our topic yesterday. Now, this afternoon, I'd like you to look at these examples from set A. Okay? The first example in set A is this sentence. Will you please read the sentence, Jaja?
The bride called off the wedding.
Okay, the bride called off the wedding. And since we're discussing multi-word verbs, will you please tell me, Jaja, what is the multi-word verb or the phrasal verb in this sentence?
I believe it's the called off.
Called off. Let's see if that's correct. That's correct. Called off. And now, what do you think is the meaning of called off based on this sentence? Kim, would you like to try?
I think it's cancel, ma'am.
Okay, let's see if the meaning of called off is to cancel. Alright, Kimberly got it correct. Called off means to cancel. So basically, the bride canceled the wedding. Okay, now let's analyze this sentence. In the sentence, the bride called off the wedding, who is or what is the subject in this sentence? Kim, would you like to try?
The subject in the sentence po is the bride.
The bride. Let's see if the bride is the subject. Okay, you got it correct. The subject in this sentence is the bride. For it is the bride who canceled the wedding. And earlier, we mentioned that the phrasal verb in this sentence is called off. Now, what do you think is the object in this sentence? Or what did the bride has to cancel? Yes, Jaja.
The wedding, ma'am.
The wedding. Let's see if that's correct. Okay, you got it correct too. So the object in this sentence is the wedding. Let's have another sentence. Kim, would you like to read?
The students handed in their papers earlier.
Okay, so in the sentence, the students handed in their papers earlier. What do you think is the phrasal verb, Kim?
Handed in.
Handed in. Let's see if that's correct. Okay, you got it correct. Now, based on the sentence, what do you think is the meaning of handed in? Jaja, would you like to try?
I think, ma'am, submit.
Submit. Let's see if that is correct. Okay, that is correct. So handed in means to submit, or hand in means to submit rather. So in this sentence, the students submitted their papers earlier. There you go. Now, just like the previous sentence, let's try to analyze this one. What is the subject in this sentence, Kim?
The students, ma'am.
The students. See? Okay, that's correct. What about the phrasal verb? We mentioned it's handed in, right? There you go. Now, my question is there an object in this sentence, Jaja?
I don't think so, ma'am.
Are you
I'll-
sure?
Oh, just a second. Let me check. The students handed
Okay.
in their papers earlier. Oh, ma'am,
Did the students hand something to the
yes,
teacher?
ma'am. The
Okay, what is
paper.
that? The papers. Let's see if the papers or papers is the object in this sentence. Okay, that's correct. So in this sentence, Jaja, the object is the papers. For the students handed in the papers earlier. Okay? Next. Will you please read sentence number 3, Jaja?
Janet set up the living room exactly the way she wanted it.
Okay. So in this sentence, Janet set up the living room exactly the way she wanted it. What is the phrasal verb in this sentence, Ja?
Set up, ma'am.
Set up. Let's see if you're correct. Okay, you got it right. Now, based on how it is used in the sentence, what do you think is the meaning of set up? What does it mean to set up some things? Ja, would you like to try again?
I'm not sure, ma'am.
You're not sure. Okay, Kim, would you like to help Jaja? What do you think is the meaning of set up? Thank you, Ja.
I think it is to arrange, ma'am.
Okay, let's see if that is correct. All right, Kimberly got it correct. So, to set up means to arrange something. Okay, so in this sentence, Janet arranged the living room exactly the way she wanted it. All right, so the meaning of set up is to arrange or arrange. Now, in this sentence, just like what we did on the previous examples, who is or what is the subject in this sentence? Kim?
The subject in this sentence, ma'am, is Janet.
Okay, let's see if that's correct. All right, that's correct. Janet is the subject. And earlier, we mentioned that set up is the phrasal verb. Now, Jaja, do you think there is an object in this sentence? What did
Yes,
Janet
ma'am.
set up? Yes,
The
Ja.
living room, ma'am.
The living room. Let's see if the living room is the object in this sentence. Okay, that's correct. So the object in this sentence is the living room. So here are the examples that we had earlier. So for set A, we have the first one, the bride called off the wedding. Number 2, the students handed in their papers earlier. And number 3, Janet set up the living room exactly the way she wanted it. All right, I hope you're taking down notes. Now, I want you to take a look at these examples from set B. Okay? The infamous couple. Jaja, will you please read our first sentence for set B?
Audrey and Boyet will drop by later.
Okay, so Audrey and Boyet will drop by later. From this sentence, what do you think is the phrasal verb, Jaja?
Drop by?
Okay, let's see if that's correct. Alright, you got it correct. The phrasal verb in this sentence is drop by. Now, based on how it is used in the sentence, what do you think is the meaning of drop by? Have you heard drop by before from your couriers, from the shipment that you get from buying in Shopee or in Lazada? Are you familiar with the word drop by, guys? Kim, have you heard of the term drop by?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so do you have any idea what does drop by mean?
I think it would mean to visit.
To visit, let's see. There you go, that's correct. So to drop by means to visit or visit. So Audrey and Boyd will drop by later. Means they will visit later. There you go. Now for this part, I'd like you to tell me the subject in this sentence. What is the subject in the sentence Audrey and Boyd will drop by later? Ja?
Ma'am, I believe it's Audrey and Boyet.
Okay, let's see if Audrey and Boyet is the subject in this sentence. Right, that is correct. So Audrey and Boyet is the subject in this sentence. And earlier, we mentioned that the phrasal verb in the sentence is what again, Kim?
Drop by.
Okay, drop by. Now, is there an object in this sentence, girls?
I don't think so, ma'am.
None po.
Okay, none. All right, that's okay. Now, here is our next sentence for set B. We like to eat out once in a while. Now, what do you think is the phrasal verb in this sentence? Ja, would you like to try?
With eat out.
Eat out. You mentioned earlier that you're full of food, right? Before we recorded the meeting. Now, what do you think is the meaning of eat out, Ja?
To eat outside.
To eat outside. Let's see if that's correct. Okay, you almost got it correct. Eat out means to dine in a restaurant or outside your house. Could be a restaurant or somewhere that is not at home, okay? So we like to dine in a restaurant once in a while. There you go. Now, what is the subject in this sentence, Kim?
We.
We. All right, that's correct. The subject is we. And again, our phrasal verb is what, Jaja?
Eat out.
All right, eat out. Now, do we have an object in this sentence, girls? Yes or no?
No.
No.
No, ma'am.
Okay, Kim says no. Oh, Jaja says no too. All right. Let's move on to our last sentence. The runner passed out after the race. What is the phrasal verb in this sentence? Jaja.
Ma'am passed out.
Passed out with a question mark. Are you sure?
Yes, ma'am, I'm sure.
Okay, passed out. What do you think is the meaning of passed out in this sentence? Kim?
What? Feel tired?
Feel tired. Okay, that could be the meaning of passed out. I mean, based on the sentence, right? Okay, So by pass out, we mean to faint or to lose consciousness. Okay, that's almost similar to feeling tired, because when you faint, right, you get this extreme feeling of being tired and exhausted. So when you pass out, it means you fainted. All right, is that clear, girls?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the runner fainted after the race. Now, in this sentence, what do you think is the subject? Who passed out after the race? Ja, would you like to try? Yes, Ja.
The runner, ma'am.
The runner. Okay, that's correct. The runner is the subject in this sentence. He passed out. And earlier we mentioned that the phrasal verb is passed out. Now my question is there an object in this sentence, girls? Yes or no? What do you think?
No.
No po.
No. Okay. So here is the sentences from set B. So here are rather the sentences from set B. And just like what you said earlier, there are no object in these sentences. Now, have you noticed anything from set A and set B? What do you think is noticeable from the two sets? Let me flash the set A first. So these are the sentences from set A. Okay, I'd like you to look carefully, look closely, and examine the sentences that we had for set A. What have you noticed in this set, Kim? Would you like to share your observation?
The sentence structure is subject, phrasal verb, and then object.
Okay, very good. That's a very nice observation. In this set, the sentence pattern is subject, phrasal verb, and then object. Okay, that's good. And remember, last time in our previous discussions, we discussed that a verb can either take an object or not, right? And if a verb takes an object, what do we call these kinds of verb? Do you still remember from your notes from our previous discussions? Jaja, what kind of verbs take an object?
Transitive verb, ma'am.
Okay, let's see if that's correct. All right, that's correct. So a verb that takes an object or a verb that requires an object is called transitive verb. For multi-word verbs, it also takes the same rule. If the multi-word verb requires an object, it is also transitive. Okay? So remember, if a multi-word verb is followed by an object, it is a transitive multi-word verb. Is that clear, girls?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay. Now, what about in set B? I've been mentioning this earlier. What is noticeable in set B? What have you noticed, girls? Jaja, would you like to share your observation?
In contrast to the
Mm-hmm.
first set, in here there's
Mm-hmm.
no object and the structure is just of the subject and the verb or the phrasal
Okay.
verb.
All right. That's correct, Jaja. You observed it correctly. Compared to the previous set, this set does not have an object. It only follows the pattern subject and then phrasal verb, and then some other additional words at the latter part. But there is no object in each sentence. And just like what we discussed in our previous discussions, we said that a verb may also not take an object. Now, how do we call or what do we call these kinds of verbs? Kim, do you still remember what these verbs are called?
Um, the verbs that does not take or require an object is called an intransitive verb.
Okay, very good. So for multi-word verbs, they can also be considered an intransitive if they do not have an object after them. A regular verb, multi-word verbs that are intransitive do not have an object after them. Okay, so remember that. The phrasal verb is intransitive if it does not have an object after them. Is that clear, girls?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so before we proceed to our activity, again, we consider a phrasal verb transitive if it follows what, Jaja?
An object.
Okay, it is a transitive phrasal verb if it follows an object, and it is intransitive if it does not have an object. Okay, now let's try these. Will you please read the directions, Kim?
Directions. Tell whether the phrasal verb is transitive or intransitive.
Okay, so the instructions are just simple. You just have to tell me whether the phrasal verb used in the sentence is intransitive or transitive. The first one is, my car broke down on the way to work. Who would like to try? Ja, would you like to try?
Okay, ma'am. My car broke
What
down.
is the phrasal verb first in this sentence?
Broke down.
Broke down. Okay, you're correct. Now, is broke down a transitive or an intransitive verb in this sentence?
Mm, it's an intransitive, ma'am.
Okay, let's see if that's correct. All right, that's correct. So this one, broke down in this sentence, is intransitive. Very good. What about this one for number 2? Would you please read and answer, Kim?
Sarah is looking for her keys.
Okay.
The phrasal verb in this sentence is looking for.
All right. And what do you think is the phrasal verb in form of? Is it a transitive or intransitive?
It is a transitive phrasal verb, ma'am.
Okay, let's see if looking for is a phrasal transitive verb. All right, Kim got it correctly. And why do we say that this sentence is intransitive, Kim?
Because there is an object po which is the keys.
Okay, very good. So in this sentence, Sarah is looking for the object keys. Right. What about number 3? Ja, will you please read and answer?
Yes, ma'am. Please
Okay.
turn on the light. The
Mm-hmm.
phrasal verb is turn on, and
All
it
right.
is a transitive phrasal verb.
Okay, let's see if Jaja's answer is correct. So she said the phrasal verb is turn on and it is transitive. All right, that's correct too. Good job, Jaja. Now, why do you think this sentence is in a transitive form, Ja? Is there an object in this sentence?
Yes, ma'am. The object
What is
is
okay?
the
The
light.
object is the light. So what needs to be turned on is the light. Very good. What about for number 4? Yes, Kim. Please read and answer.
Uh, Before you go hiking, load up on food and water. The phrasal verb
Okay.
is load up.
Load up. Is it load up only or load up on? What do you think?
Uh, Load up on.
Okay, load up on. Now, do you think load up on is transitive or intransitive?
I'm not quite sure, ma'am. Transitive?
Okay, just guess. Just try. Transitive. Let's see if the answer is transitive. Before I reveal the answer, why do you think the answer is transitive, Kim?
I'm not quite sure, ma'am, is the object is food and water.
Okay, but that's a nice try. Let's see if your answer is correct. Kim says the object in this sentence is food and water. Therefore, this one is a transitive phrasal verb. All right, Kim, you got it correct. So load up on is a transitive phrasal verb. Good job. What about for the last number? Ja, would you like to try? Kindly read and answer the sentence on the screen.
The children dressed up for the party.
Okay.
Mm, just,
What is the phrasal verb in this sentence?
it's dressed up.
Okay, dressed up.
It's a
And is this
transit.
a transit? Yes, Ja?
Yes, ma'am. It's a transitive.
Phrasal verb.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that your answer, Ja? Okay, let's see if dressed up is a transitive phrasal verb. Oh, are you? That does not seem to be the answer. The answer in this sentence is actually intransitive, Jaja, okay? You might have mistaken the word for the party as the object of the sentence. Am I correct, Jaja?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, but technically, for the party is not the object in this sentence. Okay, so the children dressed up for the party. Dressed up is an intransitive phrasal verb. All right. Still, you guys did a great job. So I'd like you to give a tap on your back. And before we end, do you have any questions, guys? Or would you like to clarify anything? Are there no more questions?
None
None
so
po.
far, ma'am.
Okay, none so far. So before we end again, a transitive phrasal verb takes an object after them, just like regular verbs, and it is intransitive if they do not follow or if it does not have an object after the verb. Okay, so that is our topic for today. So if there are no more questions, again, thank you so much, class, for joining me today, and have a great day, everyone. Goodbye, class.
Goodbye, ma'am.
Bye, ma'am. Thank you po.
Thank you.
Goodbye.